Okay, I'm going to get us started. Hey now, everybody, welcome to the Travel Massive Live. Rick Azarian, and I am part of the team here at Travel Massive. I'm the chapter leader in Bangkok as well as the Asia coordinator. I'm a travel blogger, content creator. And for those trivia buffs, I've actually filmed a movie in India, and it was licensed and played on Epic TV, which was a pretty cool thing for the bucket list. So I'm excited about our panel tonight. As you know, we have 4 representatives from the travel world in India. So we're going to get some great insights into what's happening now and what we can expect in the future. I want to welcome our 4 panelists, Shelly Mackin, Mary Ellen Ward, Mani Mahesh Arora, and Neelkanth Pararath. Sorry, our members introduce themselves from the panel. I'm going to start off with Neil. If you can say hi and please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I'm Neil from Web CRS, founder of Web CRS. I'm from Kerala, Cochin, India. So I'm into technology for tourism for last 20 years, helping hoteliers and travel businesses to use and adapt technologies in their day-to-day business. So I'm excited to be here as part of Travel Massive in the pursuit to improve skills and entrepreneurial approach in tourism through COVID and post-COVID. So it's very important to stay sustainable through this period and also create such a scenario that we can continue to create experiences and deliver those experiences to the world which needs travel.
Excellent. Thank you. That's okay. And let's drill down a little bit further because you gave us a great broad overview of what's happening for the country as a whole. But I want to learn what specifically is happening in the tourism business. So Neil, let's start off with you. You're selling enterprise systems, ERPs to tour operators and hotels. You're trying to help them with their back ends so that they can focus on customer experiences. What have your experiences been the last month or two in a time of COVID in terms of dealing with your customers and sales? Any sort of insight?
Screeching halt, like all businesses across tourism segment. Tourism is one of the most affected, the worst affected industry in the world in COVID, rather than anything else. So, and just we have been specializing in only in that space. So obviously nobody is buying anymore in terms of technology at this point of time. So when we looked at that scenario, yes, but we found something very interesting. What interesting was that though the new clients were coming back, we had we had existing clients had a very interesting turnout, which means that we saw a rapid growth in the usage of the existing team post a small campaign that we did. What we did is we were looking at this scenario of something very important and different, which is in a lockdown, we are losing one of the most important stuff, which is the man hours, skilled, resourceful man hours sitting at home. And these are the asset. This is one resource of a country, which is also a big asset, which makes money for the country or the community or the state or the city, right? All of that, or the country, as I said. So this man hours sitting at homes who were working with the travel industry and all of that, it's the money written off. I mean, that asset is being completely wasted. And hence, so we said, why don't we utilize this manpower? So we got back to our clients and spoken to them to saying that, hey, anyway, you have to retain your team, which is very important and critical part of your business. And if you're going to retain them and you're going to pay them salaries, maybe not the full amount, but in parts to keep them sustainable, you are still losing that money wasted. So why? What can you do about it? So the idea was to utilize that manpower sitting from home with some few tools additionally that we created in the COVID period to be deployed to deploy work from home. So what happens is my clients started utilizing their manpower fully in looking at better products, experiences, and all bringing it down into the process, which they were scarcely doing before this. They were only focusing on invoicing, vouchers, and operations part of it. But here you have a different set of stuff, which is actually digital content being created on this processes, on this platform that we had already deployed. So ensuring that they are creating a digital asset into the future for post-COVID recovery. So post-COVID recovery, they are having all this manpower converted into digital assets sitting in the system, so that when they get a query, they are able to create a very quick experience for the customer, on a custom experiential itinerary, which is very quick but very customized, able to be reverted in few minutes, like less than 30 seconds to 2-3 minutes. So what happens is customer engagement increases. The new important products come in, because in what happens that when we always try to deploy technology in companies, they always had a running business, and allocating resources for this kind of transformation, it was always a trouble, and it was always second preference. So, but in this scenario, we have stopped, and since now the manpower is completely deployable, they can train the team. This is what exactly happening, and that led to massive increase in usage of our systems, because it's completely cloud-based and all those kind of things. And these companies able to assetize their manpower sitting from home, creating a stronger company for post-COVID. So this manpower utilization will be very, very important. That's something which I would suggest companies to consider in whatever way, be it Excel sheets, somewhere, create assets, create digital assets, such that you can not waste these man hours, and keeping them engaged. Then when they're doing this, they will also consistently improve their knowledge on destination, products, experiences, such that they will be able to service clients much faster post-COVID. So that you don't have those very important thing of revert time managed with quality, and which can increase the efficiency of your company post-COVID, which is very important for these companies to recover and sustain and recover at a faster pace. Also, even mostly lead to growth. So that's
Neil, it's fantastic to hear you say that. Again, the opportunity seen by your clients that they're taking advantage of such a difficult time and investing in their future. But you're dealing with a lot of operators, a lot of hotel operators, a lot of tour operators. I assume all of them aren't that forward thinking. So if you can give us an idea, what percentage of your clients are able to use this time to invest for the future and stay focused, to give us kind of an idea?
Yeah, so initially it was just 5-10 clients which came forward, but now it is almost 40-50%. It is about time. They always thought, okay, lockdown is going to release faster and things like that. Okay, they took a break kind of a thing. They were processing cancellations and all this trouble initially. So a lot of people did not really get onto it. Now that they are going through a lot of training, a lot of mechanisms, over last 1.5 months, yes, they feel the importance of it, recovery to be more important. So it is consistent. I mean, every 2 days, 3 days, we have more people coming in. I'm sure. I mean, it is bad for my business in one way, as that nobody has money to pay. But I believe this support is very, very important for the industry to go forward. So we are full time on. All my team is fully working. In fact, we have started some extra work because these new tools that can improve efficiency of work from home, which can increase and delegate work and monitor with targets and all those kind of things, which is very important for organizations. No, when you're working sitting in an office, able to monitor them is much easier. But it is a very different tactics of able to get quality work uh, output in one direction of your thoughts of as an entrepreneur to get done while sitting at home at different locations with minimal infrastructure. So we are consistently tying up small knots to ensure that is coming together for the entrepreneur, so he can.
Shelly, I want to hear from you. Both you and Mary Ellen organize tours, but for two totally different market. Mary Ellen is welcoming foreigners who are inbound to India, and you're working with the domestic market. So what's going on since the start of COVID with your...
In technology business, we are investing more because we cannot shy away at this point of time and say, sorry, nobody is paying, so let me let me scale down, because it's very important to stay active at this point of time, because that paddle is what is going to give me the next breath of things. And it is most important that digital is the way for a lot of organizations to survive. So if I am scaling out, then you have potential. So the new things which is required for the new generation of the way forward will slow down into the market. So I'm feeling from my own resources to ensure that my team is fully on. And as I said, I've picked up more people to work on few areas that we need to immediately solve for the industry, and that's very, very important. So we are going against the direction of the flow to ensure that we deliver something very different for the industry when it is needed, not when it is all solved. This is something which is needed right now.
Okay. Great to see you. I mean, challenging environment. Great to see that you're investing in the future and optimistic of the potential further down the road. I'd like to bring Mary Ellen in again. And I think what we're seeing around the globe is the predictions are international travel will start up at some point. We don't know when, but most experts are saying domestic travel will start off first. So what's your take on that? And having a business that's relying on international customers, inbound customers, is there any potential chances that you'll be reworking your business at all when you see a domestic rebirth starting before international arrivals?
It's actually got...
I see that it's not just India. Globally, tourism has to start domestic. One side, you have investment and infrastructure of tourism available. On the other side, you have people frustrated who has never been in a room for more than 24 hours and 48 hours, being pushed into that place for pretty long time. For sure, the level of, there is one side, yes, they find peace and things like that, but in a lot of other places, there's a lot of frustration. The kids want to get out of that and go out, and the person in handling the kitchen is like day in, day out, tea, coffee, food, and it keeps on, right? So and there is no break. So right through Sunday. So that means a lot of pressure is building up. So in fact, so when the lockdowns open, there's going to be definitely travel everywhere as domestic. Now that too, like large countries like India, people may not cross borders of states, but they would definitely do inside the state itself, because they want really short breaks, at least to start with, two night, 3 night, and then there is where exactly that stays the offbeat. It's very important, very critical. It naturally creates the social distancing capability, right? You go to a beach with a busy place. No, that's not what the people want. So they want to get on of the offbeat roads. So that is going to be quite potential. So investing anywhere there in terms of information, in terms of reorienting yourself, there is a potential, and you can start recovering slowly from this segment rather than keeping null and keeping wait for the big thing to happen. So start your efforts. That's something which definitely I would look for with Inside Domestic Stake and all of that. Now, coming to India is concerned, I've just watched some very interesting numbers out there. So with 1.3 billion people around, all right, and most importantly, with just 176 policemen for 100,000 people, right? So policing to population ratio, if you're looking at, it is very low than many countries which are largely affected even today. So with even that, India achieved this lockdown with very minimal penetration of, compared to the numbers of COVID, has been an excellent, showcase of what has been the thing, and hence there is going to be, India should open up earlier for that. Of course, they will be very stringent about it because they did make a lot of decisions based on it. But then, yes, it will open up. Now, coming to that, the next thing is health. So there would be, and India being one of the major sources of Ayurveda, being the driver, yoga has got a lot of influence, this thing here. So all of that and wellness. So all of these are key punching numbers and points that can drive business to India, especially in tourism. So when it opens, whenever it opens, and I don't want to be it earlier or make it happen immediately. That's not fair. It is not good for anybody there. So, but whenever it happens, because of this can be a very important rider for Indian tourism. So staying close to that, businesses can be very interesting, or investing in that space could be interesting. So investing does not need money, does not mean money. It could be investing on relationships, man hours, and all these kind of things. Knowing, understanding, collating, and ready to go whenever the business is ready. So that's what I would see on this space. I hope I could answer your.
Excellent. Thank you for your insight.